Hello, hi Rajiv ji. Welcome you once again to our show Chat in Chat.
Pranam Kamalji, how are you?
Pranam Rajiv ji, absolutely fine. Much more delighted to read the news we've been seeing since the last few days. US to soon allow spouse of H-1B visa holders to work in America, and a lot of our listeners are really thrilled seeing this news as well.
Well, I'm cautiously, I wouldn't say thrilled, but cautiously in a celebratory mood. I wouldn't, because see, the problem is there is too many slips between the cup and the lip. First of all, most of these regulations have to go through a notice and comment period. They'll be drafted, then they are put open for public comment. There are certain shortcuts available, but this could easily take several months. Okay.
Okay.
It depends upon how fast the government wants to act on it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, remember that there was an H-4 regulation that had been pending for years. I mean, a year and a half or so. They had already decided that, I think last year, beginning of last year or maybe 2012, that they are going to allow H-4 holders from those countries where the governments of those countries allow similar privileges to US workers. Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
now,
Right.
what I'm hearing is, and again, I don't have all the details, what I'm hearing is that they may allow only spouses of those workers who have STEM degrees: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay,
Oh.
but
Okay.
we don't have a whole lot of information yet. So we'll see how this proceeds, how fast it goes, and what the final devil in the details is. Okay, but
Okay.
definitely it's a step in the right direction. There are many
Ah.
other similar provisions in US laws for similar visa holders like H-4 where we don't have these unnecessary restrictions. And the possibility of having an H-4 holder usefully employed, these are very delightful possibilities because so many qualified people are sitting at home just because they don't have the proper work authorizations. Again, depending upon the final regulations, we would like to see whether these folks can even start their own businesses or entrepreneurial steps towards their own businesses and their own employment. So we'll see what happens in the ultimate analysis. Too early to tell. That would be one part. The second part was that the government has acknowledged that they need to do something about people who are outstanding researchers and professors. Already there are provisions in the law for EB1 classification, which is employment based green cards for outstanding researchers and professors. Some of the stumbling blocks that outstanding researchers and even professors face are these.
Okay.
If you are, first of all, for that category, you need a job offer, which is
Uh
permanent.
huh.
Permanent doesn't mean forever, but it's got to be indefinite. And if it is funding supported, we have to be able to show that the researcher is actually supported by, is expected to continue working as long as there is funding. But USCIS has come up with so many kinks. For example, they'll ask us, all right, so this guy is working for XYZ University. Show us the university's personnel, what do you call them? The personnel files, how this particular position is treated. Is this
Uh
position
huh.
shown as a permanent position or as a temporary position? So a lot of postdocs cannot qualify for outstanding researcher despite having extraordinarily good qualifications. Okay,
Right.
so
Right. Right.
hopefully they'll ease some of these things out because these are really a matter of interpretation, not so much of new laws being made. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot President Obama can do with his executive pen rather than
Yes.
going through Congress, which seems to have come to a standstill when it comes to immigration. So, really, this is a step in the right direction by the White House to short circuit some of these processes that have gotten stuck and they are causing our nation, the United States of America, immense harm in that we are
Right.
losing talent. And we've said this time and time again that capital always follows talent. Wherever the talented people go, that's where the money follows. Okay.
That is
Um,
there. That is there.
I also think that these are all steps in the right direction where we see government at least acknowledging these issues and taking some active
Mm-hmm.
steps to correcting these issues. I would also like to see what was there in the regulations that were earlier pending, the ones that I referred to. Being
Yes.
able to renew your H-1 visa within the United States. Why should you have to go outside USA for visa
Yes.
stamping and the consulates
Exactly.
hold you hostage for weeks and weeks and weeks? We have a very senior school teacher from
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina stuck in India. This is his second
Mm-hmm.
H-1 visa stamping, and
Oh
they
my.
say, well, we have to do administrative processing. His students are waiting here. So his school principal has now contacted the local congressman's office to seek their intervention. Why does this person have to wait again for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or even 6 months for a visa stamping? We need our
Right.
teachers. There is absolutely no predictability in the system. It is very distressing, both for employers and employees. They have to
And
do
we
something.
almost, yes, Rajesh, we almost have a similar question as well today, sent in by
Go
a
ahead.
listener as well.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that, please.
So he says, I would like to know from Mr. Rajiv Khanna about my situation. The situation is my employer is Bank of America, and I work job with them since June 2010. My I-140 is approved in December 2010, followed by my H-1B renewal for 3 years, which expired on 3rd April 2014, so as stamping on our passports. Meanwhile, I received another renewal by my employer for 3 years till March 2017. The question is, can I get my visa stamping done at US consulate in Canada or Mexico, or should I get it done in India? I'm aware of interviewer waiver program in India and I qualify for the same, but it takes at least 2 weeks or more to go by the Dropbox method, and I'm planning to make a short visit to India. So should I follow the usual pattern of booking an appointment? And that way I can shorten my trip to India. So he's now really eagerly waiting for an answer because he wants to plan his trip according to the answer he gets.
If I were to make this plan, we are dealing with waters that are stormy and uncertain. I cannot give you a guaranteed answer or an answer that would work for you 100% of the times. But this is the way I would do it. I would apply in Canada or Mexico first, but be prepared to fly to India in case you are refused visa from there, because you will not be able to come back into the US. Normally, using what is referred to as automatic visa revalidation, AVR, if your trip is to a contiguous territory of the United States like Mexico or Canada and the trip is less than 30 days, a person in your situation can come back into the US without a visa. But AVR
Okay.
is not applicable if you apply for a visa and are denied. Okay, so it is really, it would be the smart thing to do to be prepared to fly to India from Canada or Mexico in case your visa is refused. But I would try in Canada or Mexico first.
All right, okay. Another query here sent in by a listener, Rajivji. She says, my brother is an IIT Masters in Computers and working in India as IT team lead for past 11 years, and now he wants to come here. I cannot get him here as I am not a citizen. Can he come here for studies like Masters or PhD? We are leaning towards PhD. Can you help in understanding how can we take this route and what is the procedure? Is April the correct time? If not, what is the correct time?
You know what I'm going to do? I think we should have somebody. In fact, let's send a call out to our listeners as well as
Mm-hmm.
people who participate in all our various social outreach programs. I would like to talk with somebody, with a few PhD students, three, four, five, and kind of give an outline to people like her brother. Sort
Mm-hmm.
of not because I can talk about the legal aspects, that's easy for me. But the
Right.
practical aspects, I'm sitting in India, I'm a very well qualified person, and I want to go for higher studies to USA. What are the nitty gritty steps that I have to follow? Step one, step two, step three. It'll be a nice thing to do. I do not know the practical aspects. I certainly know the legal aspects. They will apply for a student visa. Sometimes you can
Right.
apply for a J1 visa, F1 or J1, depending upon the
Okay.
circumstances and the program. Sometimes you get
Mm-hmm.
graduate assistance. Sometimes you get kind of a job along with the PhD program. So there's a whole bunch of options there. Okay, I think it'll be a good idea to invite, and I do. Please send me an email or send Kamalji an email. My email is easy, help@immigration.com. Kamalji, your email is on on the website where you post this. So
Yes.
anybody who wants to participate in a discussion on what is good for PhD students and how you do it, people who are already in the US on PhD, let's do a quick roundtable with 3, 4, 5 people participating, so I can also understand how these guys do it, what are the good roads to follow, how to steer clear of the problem areas. The student visa option is an easy option. If you can get into a program, the program will issue you an I-20, which is for
Okay.
F1. Or if you are
Okay.
doing a J1, that's a different form. You take it to the US consulate and you apply for an
Mm-hmm.
F1 or a J1. They either give it to you or they don't give it to you. You enter in the United States using your visa stamp, and then you start your program. That's the legal aspect. That's easy enough. Okay. As to the
Okay.
practical idea how to go, which universities to select, I would like somebody smarter than I am in that area to comment about that. I don't know much about that.
Right. So, anyways, I'm sure Rajivji, they've taken the legal aspect here, the legal advice that they wanted, and I'm sure, like, let's hope in the coming days if we can get some of our PhD listeners there, and we can certainly talk about this issue as well. So, Rajivji, these were the queries sent in by our listeners this week.
Thank you, Kamalji. It's always a delight to speak with you.
Same here, a pleasure all ours. Thank you so much for your time, Rajivji.
Pranam, ma'am. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Every other Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we host free community conference calls. Everybody is welcome to join. Some people post questions ahead of time. You can take membership in our forums. All of the details are there on our website, immigration.com. You can take membership ahead of time, and you know, it's instantaneous. It happens right away. And post your questions beforehand, or you can just log in. The phone number and all are provided: 202-800-8394, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time every other Thursday. We have free apps for both Apple iOS platform for your iPhones and iPads, as well as for Android. Just look for immigration.com, the period dot, and the application should show up.